Former Manchester United and Leeds winger Lee Sharpe has absolutely slammed the decision to send off Lisandro Martínez, labelling the controversial red card a complete joke. The incident, which saw the Argentine defender dismissed for an alleged hair pull on Dominic Calvert-Lewin, has sparked massive debate across the footballing world, with Sharpe now adding his significant voice to the growing chorus of criticism. The drama unfolded during a tense clash between two of Sharpe's former clubs, a fixture that always carries immense historical weight and expectation. In the 56th minute, the game was turned completely on its head when VAR intervened, instructing referee Paul Tierney to consult the pitch-side monitor. The subsequent red card shown to Martinez for violent conduct immediately changed the entire complexion of the match, leaving Manchester United with a mountain to climb. Sharpe, who made 261 appearances for Manchester United and 37 for Leeds during his illustrious career, did not hold back in his assessment of the situation. Speaking to Leeds Live, the former England international offered a brutally honest perspective on the incident, making it crystal clear that he felt the match officials had completely overreacted to what was essentially a minor physical altercation. "I think it's a joke of a decision," Sharpe stated emphatically, leaving absolutely no room for misinterpretation regarding his stance on the matter. He went on to explain his reasoning, arguing that while a foul may have occurred, the punishment simply did not fit the crime. "I don't think it's a sending off. I think if you're going to book him and give him a free kick, I think that's fine. But it's hardly violent conduct." If you want to stay updated on all the latest Premier League controversies, VAR debates, and expert analysis from former players, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The race for European qualification is heating up, and every single massive refereeing decision could define the entire season for these massive clubs. Sharpe's primary argument centres around the actual physical impact of the incident, or rather, the lack thereof. He pointed out that Martinez's actions, while perhaps clumsy or ill-advised, did not pose any genuine threat to Calvert-Lewin's safety. "I don't think he's doing anybody any serious damage with what he's done," Sharpe noted, highlighting the massive disparity between the definition of violent conduct and the reality of what actually transpired on the pitch. The former winger also touched upon the issue of intent, acknowledging that only Martinez truly knows whether the hair pull was a deliberate act of aggression or simply a byproduct of two players tangling for the ball. However, Sharpe maintained that regardless of intent, the decision to produce a straight red card was entirely disproportionate. "I'm not sure if he's done it intently or not. Only he will know that. But no, I think it is way over the mark, and the game's gone as far as if that's a sending off of violent conduct. That's ridiculous." This sentiment was strongly echoed by Manchester United's caretaker manager, Michael Carrick, who was visibly furious with the decision on the touchline. Carrick did not mince his words during his post-match press conference, describing the red card as shocking and going as far as to claim that one was one of the worst I've seen. The manager's frustration was palpable, as he felt his team had been severely punished for an incident that lacked any real malice or aggression. Carrick also highlighted what he perceived as a glaring inconsistency in the officiating, pointing to an earlier incident involving Calvert-Lewin and Lenny Yoro. The United boss argued that the Leeds striker had used his arm aggressively during a duel in the build-up to Noah Okafor's opening goal, an action that went completely unpunished by the referee. This perceived double standard only added fuel to the fire, leaving the Manchester United camp feeling deeply aggrieved by the entire situation. Interestingly, Sharpe disagreed with Carrick regarding the Calvert-Lewin and Yoro incident, stating that he did not believe it warranted a foul. However, when asked directly if the rules regarding hair pulling need to be altered to prevent similar controversies in the future, Sharpe was unequivocal in his response. "Without a shadow of a doubt, yeah," he affirmed. "And I know the referee's just playing by the rules, but yeah, I think that's wrong." While the red card debate dominated the post-match headlines, Sharpe was also keen to praise the exceptional performance of Daniel Farke's Leeds side. Despite his strong ties to Manchester United, the former winger offered a glowing assessment of the Yorkshire club's display, arguing that they fully deserved their victory regardless of the controversial refereeing decisions that occurred during the match. Sharpe highlighted the incredible turnaround that Leeds have experienced under Farke's leadership, noting that earlier in the season there were genuine concerns about the manager's future. There was talk about Leeds letting him go and swapping the manager because of the run of games they were on before December, Sharpe recalled. They stuck with him, and since then, I think we've seen what Leeds can do. The performance against Manchester United served as a massive statement of intent, from a Leeds side that has often struggled to find consistency against the league's top teams. Sharpe was particularly impressed by the manner in which they approached the game, praising their tactical discipline and attacking verve. "I think that they've played really well against the big teams. I think they have probably been a little bit unlucky in other games, and then they go there last night, they play with aggression, they play with pace, they play with organisation." In fact, Sharpe felt that the final scoreline actually flattered Manchester United, suggesting that Leeds could have easily inflicted a much heavier defeat on their bitter rivals. No matter how well or how bad Man United played, they went there and could have scored 5 or 6 last night, he claimed. It was an incredible performance and they looked far better than the league position suggests. This glowing endorsement from a former player highlights the massive strides that Leeds have made in recent months. Sharpe firmly believes that the team is currently operating at a level far above their current standing in the table, stating, "They looked like they were a top 10 team quite easily last night, so I think the manager's doing a great job." Looking ahead to the future, Sharpe is incredibly optimistic about Leeds' prospects under Farke's guidance. He confidently predicted that the club will avoid relegation this season, a massive achievement given their struggles earlier in the campaign. Furthermore, he believes that the experience gained during this difficult period will ultimately make them a much stronger force in the years to come. "I think they will stay up, and I think next season you'll probably see a better Leeds team with a stronger manager for the experience of it." The contrasting emotions surrounding this fixture perfectly encapsulate the chaotic, unpredictable nature of the Premier League. On one side, you have Manchester United reeling from a controversial red card decision that their manager described as shocking and a former player labelled a joke. The sense of injustice within the United camp is palpable as they feel a massive refereeing error completely derailed their chances of securing a positive result. On the other side, you have a resurgent Leeds side brimming with confidence after delivering an exceptional performance against one of their biggest rivals. The victory not only provides a massive boost to their survival hopes, but also serves as a powerful validation of Daniel Farke's managerial methods. The team's aggressive, organised approach completely overwhelmed their opponents, proving that they possess the quality to compete with the very best in the division. Ultimately, the debate surrounding Lisandro Martínez's red card will likely continue to rage for days to come. The incident highlights the ongoing challenges associated with VAR and the subjective nature of refereeing decisions, particularly when it comes to defining violent conduct. While the rules may dictate that any form of hair-pulling warrants a dismissal, the reality is that such rigid interpretations often lead to decisions that feel entirely disproportionate to the actual offence committed. Lee Sharpe's outspoken criticism of the decision serves as a powerful reminder that the letter of the law does not always align with the spirit of the game. His argument that the punishment should fit the crime resonates with many fans and pundits who feel that the current application of VAR is slowly stripping the game of its natural physicality and common sense. As the dust settles on this controversial clash, both clubs must quickly refocus their attention on the massive challenges that lie ahead. Manchester United must find a way to channel their frustration into positive performances, while simultaneously dealing with the impending suspension of a key defensive player. Meanwhile, Leeds must build upon this exceptional victory, using the momentum to secure their Premier League status and lay the foundations for a brighter future under Daniel Farke. The Premier League remains the most dramatic and unforgiving competition in world football, a league where a single refereeing decision can change the entire trajectory of a season. The fallout from this fixture is a perfect example of why the sport continues to captivate millions of fans around the globe, providing a constant stream of controversy, debate, and unforgettable moments of brilliance. The passion, the intensity, and the sheer unpredictability of these massive encounters are exactly what makes English football so incredibly special. And as long as there are massive decisions to debate, the conversation will never truly end.